The Cheeseboy 628 Show, starring Cheeseboy 628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 here today, giving you another Theory Thursday, today on NU Offensive Rain. And this suggestion was brought to you by a subscriber of mine named Devon, who requested we do NU Rain. And this team used to have Raichu on it, but I might as well fulfill another subscriber's request and do Specs Pachirisu. Thank you, Dev, for that request. Now, I do call this team NU Offensive Rain instead of Hyper Offensive or Defensive or just regular Rain, because it does have a defensive core of a Violet Roselia and a Violet Munchlax, although the rest of the team is very hyper offense, with a Life Orb Swift Swim Ludicolo, which also carries Rain Dance just in case Liepard dies early, and a Life Orb Swift Swim Mantine. Then I have Liepard, which is 0 IVs in the defenses and HPs, and a minus defense nature, because the goal is just to get a free Rain Dance off, and then get every other poke to start sweeping, really. And then finally I have the Specs Pachirisu that Dev Fernape wanted me to use, and it is modest max special attack because it is base 45 special attack, so it needs a ton of power to back it up. Also, other than Pachirisu, the whole theory behind this team was by my buddy Triple Finish Gaming, so thank you for this amazing team. So let's get right into why this team works so well. So Rain is extremely beneficial in NU for a ton of reasons, because there are a ton of pokes that can really benefit from it, and some of them are even used in Ubers when Swift Swim is always permanent, but the problem is that you don't have a poke that can actually bring up the weather naturally. And it's pretty simple, you just bring in a poke that has the Damp Rock, you go for Rain Dance, you have 8 turns of Mayhem. And then it's of course nice and strong, you've got your Life Orb Ludicolo, you got your Life Orb Mantine, you're ready to rock the world and do a ton of damage, so therefore it is really strong. And there's actually relatively few counters to it, especially Ludicolo. I faced some teams where they have Fire Water Grass core, and Ludicolo just takes care of it very nicely with its excellent dual typing of water and grass, which also has very few weaknesses. Dodrio comes in, hopefully trying to outspeed, but nope, Ludicolo and Swift Swim is just too powerful. Even this Raichu tries to kill me off, and because of its amazing typing, Ludicolo is able to set up the rain and able to finish off that Raichu with a Life Orb Hydro Pump. Also, what I really liked about this battle was how Golurk came in and tried to Magic Coat my Liepard, trying to get it to taunt itself or probably something of the sort, but I'm able to get up my Rain and go for the foul play and take that Golurk out in the first 2 turns, while also being able to set up my Rain and just do a ton of damage afterwards. So this team is really nice and powerful, but it does have a couple weaknesses, and let's see what those are. So while Rain can definitely be very beneficial, you're going to have a couple of issues with it. For one thing, you need some setup time. You've got to have at least 1 turn dedicated to setting up that Rain, and then you're probably going to need at least 1 turn to switch out and then start using pokes to actually abuse it. And the problem is you're usually going to have what we call suicide leads in RU and above, like with Aerodactyl setting up Stealth Rocks and maybe Skarmory and OU setting up as many hazards as possible. In this case, Liepard is that suicide lead, that's why its defenses are lowered. So the Rain comes up and just about every poke on my team can abuse it, but the problem is it's just 1 poke that immediately goes down to just about any hit in the world, like a Drain Punch from Cacturne. Also, what may hinder you is that you may need to play more predictably when you have weather, because it's already in your favor, so you might as well try to just play it safe and just go for Hydro Pumps where necessary, and then Thunders in the other cases. But the problem is your opponent will probably predict you rather easily, and then after a couple turns of stalling, you'll lose your Rain and you have to set it up again. And if you already lost your suicide lead for Rain, you're not going to have a grand time. And Licky Licky is just ridiculously bulky. You'll find out later how well it takes Hydro Pumps. It's kind of scary. Also, common weakness when you're making Rain teams. Of course, water is one of your main parts of a Rain team, so of course your team is going to be commonly weak to grass and electric. So Cacturne is definitely going to be annoying this whole time. I always have to switch out, as you can see, my pokes needing to keep switching out until I find a way to counter this Cacturne. I'm able to get up the Rain here, as you can tell, and he just takes me out easily with that Drain Punch. Now my Ludicolo comes in, and here's where the predicting comes in. He predicts the Ice Beam very nicely, and I just get some Life Orb recoil while he's probably able to live this Hydro Pump. Look at that, he's able to eat that up, go for the Toxic, and then with Life Orb plus Toxic, I'm not having a great time, especially since this Licky Licky of course carries the Protect. and then I just have to wait another turn to go for the Giga Drain, and it's not going to be that much health for my recovery, and I'm not going to have a great time. Not to mention he predicts me again, and he just brings in Cacturne and is able to eat up that Giga Drain easily. And then since Ludicolo is offensive, it's not going to take the Sucker Punch like I wanted it to. So now I'm pretty much obligated to go to Pachirisu. I really don't have many other options. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and it's freaking Specs Modest, and it doesn't take out that Cacturne. And then he goes for the Drain Punch, able to take out my Roselia. So finally I'm going to go for another Volt Switch, but no, he's not going to let me kill that Cacturne. He's just not going to let me. Brings in his Camerupt, and here's where the risky plays start to come in. He goes for the Rock Polish, and now I'll outspeed my entire team, and I do have some nice special bulk, so I'll go for the Hydro Pump and take him out. No, I'll miss. But at least I have one more chance, and I miss that. So that's what I mean about risky. Hydro Pumps are usually key to winning, and there is that 20% chance that you're gonna miss, and well, it's very unfortunate. But this opponent of mine was so very nice to go for another Rock Polish until I went for the Hydro Pump to take him out. And then he brings in his Rampardos, and turns out that a Specs Grass Knot's able to take him out. And then he brings in his Lopunny, which actually doesn't have any attacking moves, goes for the substitute, tries Baton Pass into Cacturne, but of course the spikes will take it out. And I thought this guy was way too generous for me, so I thought, thank you for your generosity, but you definitely deserve the points. So I am going to forfeit here as he brings in his Lopunny. So it was definitely a great match, and I hope it showed you that there are different ways to counter this team and just to be prepared for it. So I hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to test out this team and make sure you do it while 5th Gen NU is still relatively popular. So thank you all for watching. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.